All right. So, have you heard of the movie A Star Is Born?
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. I don't blame you. I haven't
Right.
seen it either.
Right.
It's not really my kind of movie.
Sure.
I do like music.
Yeah.
I like musical movies, but not really mine. No. But anyway, do you know that just came out, right? Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, that movie's a remake.
So wait, this was a movie another movie that was out before?
Not only is this a remake, this has been remade multiple times. This is the fourth time. I'm dead serious.
No
This
way.
is the fourth time that A Star Is Born has been released. It's like every 20 years or so.
They gotta make a new one?
They make a new one.
How come we haven't seen a new Footloose?
Think of every dancing movie you've ever seen is just a remake of Footloose. But I'm sure those things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? But, yeah. So I... At first, I always thought, like, remakes were... It's annoying. Like, come up with some new ideas.
Yeah.
But then...
That's mean... Yeah.
You think about the studio has to, keep its content fresh, and they don't want to lose copyright on certain things.
So they'll redo it again just to keep the copyright. So it's...
Sometimes.
Alright.
So...
4, though.
For what?
They
Four
have-
times.
they
I
have
know,
4
4
times.
So today, we're going to talk about some remakes.
Remakes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Big Spoon.
Little Spoon.
I'm Jamie Grum,
And I'm Nick Drago.
and we're going to talk about some random topics pulled out of a hat. And this week, our topic is...
Remakes. That's
Remakes.
right. It's under my phone, which I should just put on the floor here. That's why I couldn't see it. Yep. So,
So, remakes.
yeah. Well, for our friends who are new to the show,
Yes.
every week we pull out a topic. We
Yep.
don't know what it's going to be. We're just going to talk about it.
Not at all. And
And,
this one in particular was a fan topic.
yeah, this was a fan topic. This was submitted by a fan. And so for any fans out there who have their own topics they want us to discuss on the show,
Do we know the fan on this one?
yeah, this was my wife.
Oh, look at that. Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you, Johanna, for coming up with a topic. I wanted to seem like we had more fans, so I didn't really want to announce that.
But I'm
But
thinking, I feel like she would love to have a shout out.
that's true.
So-
She gets one every episode. She needs
does.
2 this time.
Now
All right,
she's
yes.
taking our topic.
Sorry. Okay, so yes, thank you to my
Yes.
wife for coming up with this topic.
And here's the thing, guys. If you want to be shouted out on our show,
Yeah.
submit some submit some topics, and we'll try our best to talk about them.
Yeah.
And we do a whole separate thing for fans, and that we'd eventually love to just be it. Whatever you guys want, we'll
Yeah.
talk about.
WeHateForks@gmail.com.
We hate forks.
Just email us your submissions.
Just go through a whole list. Ask your neighbors, your dog, or whatever. Just send them over.
Actually, for the record, a lot of the topics that I wrote to put into our hat
Yeah.
did come from, like, patients at work, but I
Oh,
can't say
yeah.
their names on the show. 'Cause
Okay.
It's kind of a HIPAA violation.
HIPAA violation.
But
Yes.
if they do come up, I'll be sure to mention them. Because
Yeah.
there's a few on that list that I'm like, I know a patient gave me that one.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, sorry. So remakes, right?
Yes.
It's, sometimes you know when a remake's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's been how many years since this movie came out, and maybe it's a property that could be successful, and so you're just gonna let's try it, let's remake it, let's reboot it,
Mm-hmm.
and just go from there and see what happens.
So, what we kind of were touching base on this in the beginning of this episode is are they good? Are remakes one thing is they're doing it to maybe protect their copyright or something, but at a certain point, does it get old?
So I want to challenge you to this.
Okay.
We don't have to come up with an idea right now.
Yeah.
But while we're talking,
Mhm.
think in the back of your head the best remake ever made.
Okay.
Like what would you consider to be the best
The
remake?
best
Now,
remake, yeah.
remember, there's a difference between a remake and a reboot.
Okay.
Okay? A remake is you're literally remaking that movie.
Yeah.
Here is the plot. We know the plot, the details, blah, 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 bam.
Everything's
remake.
the same.
Yeah, just different actors.
Okay.
A reboot is similar, but plot points have changed.
Yeah.
Characters and actors are changed. So for an example, before we had started filming, you mentioned Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right? Spider-Man is more of a reboot than a remake.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah. Because every single time it's a totally different story, and that's like really Spider-Man is like a lot of those Marvel films, they're just going off of stories that were in comics.
Yeah, well, everything has to come from some form of source.
Yeah.
Not every movie, but
so
a lot of movies
in
come
a
from
sense,
source material.
The movies, Spider-Man movies, even the first one would be a reboot then, because it's rebooting from the comic series. Would you think that would be? Or
no, that would be
an adaptation.
Bingo.
Yes.
That would be an adaptation.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong in having that thought. So yeah, remake. So Star is Born. We mentioned that one. A lot of the Disney movies are making live action.
The live
action. Right now.
Okay, so talking about reboots, Jungle Book would be a reboot.
It'd be a remake.
No.
Why?
It's not the same story. If you compare both movies, it's not the same.
I thought it was the same thing. Little boy's lost in the woods. Bear helps him out. They fight some monkeys.
But there's certain parts that are different, and other parts that are, you know.
I don't know. Is the overall plot the same though?
Yeah, I guess so. But
so that would be a remake.
Played out differently. I would just think that this new Lion King movie, which looks like almost shot for shot. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks shot for shot so far the same.
Yeah. So yeah, you can do like a literal shot for shot remake. Beauty and the Beast was
Dumbo coming out.
Yeah. So Dumbo's been out.
Oh, it's been out.
Yeah,
okay,
I heard it was pretty terrible.
I haven't seen any movies. Oh well, that's probably why I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah.
But now there's another Disney one that they are working on. Forgetting what that is.
No, they're doing Little Mermaid, Mulan, Lady and the Tramp.
That's gonna be good. Lady and the Tramp, and then lesser known ones, Treasure Planet.
Really?
Yes, is getting a live action.
That's weird.
I'm interested. I never even saw Treasure Planet, but I feel like I would have loved that movie.
Why? Because it's science fiction?
It looks science fiction. Like, oh my gosh, you know what would be a cool remake?
Yes.
Titan AE.
I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, that was a good one. That's so good. It's like Is
that a kaiju movie?
Kaiju movie?
You know, like Godzilla, King Kong, like giant.
Oh no!
Giant things beat each other up.
No. Titan AE is it's like Titan, which is Titan AE is Titan after Earth.
Okay.
I can't tell you anything without really giving it away, but it's like it mixes like it's early 2000s, like mixing like the CGI and cartoons.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain
it without That's a little too new, though, for a remake, right?
Well, think about it. If every 20 years for that one movie is getting a remake, that would be a good time. And it had, Drew Barrymore was in it, and and Matt Damon. Drew Barrymore and Matt Damon were the voices. So it's like, they could probably do it again.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they could.
Yeah, that was a good one. Anyway, you don't know anything about that. Watch it. And tell me what you think about that.
Tell Jamie what you think about it so that he can decide if he should watch it or not.
Wait, I already watched it.
You said you'd never see... Oh, no, never mind. I was thinking of Treasure Planet. I'm so
Treasure Planet, though, you can tell me how you guys like that one, because I'm planning on watching that one. See how
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
But anyway, remakes. Disney's doing a whole bunch of them. What are some other remakes right now that are maybe like more recent ones? But what are remakes that you can think of?
That's a really good question. Off of the top of my head, it's funny because there are so many remakes that are.
Yeah, but you can't.
Okay, well, so Blade, they're gonna remake Blade.
Wait, like a full remake, not a reboot?
So it's Blade, but now he's going to be part of, like, the Marvel Universe.
Oh.
Which is kind of... And it's being played by Mahershala Ali.
What?
Yes. Do you know who that is?
It sounds familiar. So it's not...
He's been in a ton of, like, shows.
Who was the original Blade, though? Was it...
Wesley Snipes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Wesley's... I would love it if they brought Wesley Snipes back for this, but I think he's a little too old.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if he did a cameo or something, like Lou Ferrigno does in the Hulk movies.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
Right? So that's an example of a remake that they're making. Or in our last episode, we were talking Wild West, and I had mentioned they remade The Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
A lot of those westerns. True Grit got a remake. It makes you think, what movies deserve one and what movies don't. So what if they turned around and said, we're going to remake Back to the Future? How would you feel about that?
Oh, man.
Classic movie.
That's a cult classic. You couldn't do that. Michael J. Fox was perfect for that role.
Well, he wouldn't be now.
I mean, I said...
Yeah.
Oh, did I say he would be perfect for that role?
No, he is perfect. He was perfect. You said he was perfect.
He was perfect. So that's like what I mean. Like I don't know if you can follow that up with another one.
Here's a good
unless
one.
it was a reboot.
This one drove me nuts.
Oh no.
Illumination. They're the studio that does like the Minion movies and a few others. They did a remake of The Grinch. Now,
is that the new CGI one?
Yes, the new CGI one. Haven't seen it.
I watched it. It was.
Did you like it? Was it terrible?
It was actually pretty good if you try and forget that you saw the one with Jim Carrey.
I don't want to forget the one with Jim Carrey. That movie was amazing.
Do you know the reason why they stopped doing for the Dr. Seuss movies? Why they stopped doing that?
The Cat in the Hat.
The Cat in the Hat.
Oh, so I had never seen it.
So Dr. Seuss. What's his real name? The guy, because it's Dr. Seuss isn't actually like the guy's name. His
real last name is like Zeiss.
Yeah.
I think, but I can't remember his first name.
But his wife felt like that the Cat in the Hat was such like a kick in the mouth that she was like, you can't do live action anymore. And then that's when they switched to the
they started
CGI.
Doing, like Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. I think
we saw that together.
We did.
That's where Shoes got his name.
Yes, our friend Shoes got his name because he threw a shoe. He's actually my cousin, but he threw a shoe at your girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend.
You two were.
From back,
Can I say what you were doing?
No.
Oh, never mind. They weren't even holding hands, Michelle. I promise you. That's his wife now.
There was not enough seats, so we were in the trunk, and then for some reason he threw a shoe.
You guys were making out hardcore in that trunk.
We were not.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway.
So so the Jim Carrey version's amazing.
Yeah.
My wife and I recently were babysitting some kids.
Okay.
Just some random kids off the street. No,
right.
friends' kids, and they wanted to watch The Cat in the Hat. It was just a random movie we had found. We were like, let's give it a try. I had heard for years it was terrible, and it's one of those movies where it's so bad, it's good.
No.
Like, okay, like a part of me actually wants to watch it a second time because it was
Can we watch it together?
So horrible. It was so bad.
Because this is the time that like Mike Myers just started getting weird.
Well, Austin Powers was basically done, and it was like, what did he do? The Love Guru, and
he was trying to recreate. Horrible too.
He was trying to recreate the magic of Austin Powers, and it wasn't working.
Yeah, and he should have just left it at that. Yeah.
So anyway, the whole Grinch thing. Yeah, they remade it. I love the Jim Carrey version, but guess what?
What?
That's a remake too. My parents love the original cartoon Grinch,
and
I do too.
Cartoon
the original cartoon's great.
It's
literally a full-on adaptation from the Dr. Seuss. I think Dr. Seuss even... I think he does some of the narration, doesn't he?
For the original one?
I don't remember. Boris Karloff sings the song. I know that. I don't... Maybe Dr... I know Dr. Seuss was heavily involved in it.
We will try and look that one up.
We'll research it.
If we don't find it out, we hate forks.
We hate forks at gmail.com.
Yes.
Email us. Let us know if Dr. Seuss... I know he was heavily involved, but I don't know if he did any voices
for the Grinch, though?
For the cartoon.
Or the cartoon, okay. I keep forgetting which one we're talking about now, because remakes, you lose track of them.
Yeah.
Remakes.
So, I would, depending on your perspective, you could say that the Grinch, the Jim Carrey version of the Grinch...
But that would be more of a reboot, because think about how much different that one is. Yeah, it's the same...
Yeah, they had... I mean, you have to fill essentially a half hour of content into like a 2-hour movie. But they did a good job.
And so that was another reason why I was like... thinking going into the new one, like how different is this going to be? Because if it's not exactly a remake either. Same plot point and everything, but they have to. It's like the new age children's comedy. It's so different. Mm-hmm. Comedy now for kids and family movies are so different from like growing up in the 90s.
How so?
I don't know how to explain it. It's just like it's more
in your face.
Kind of in your face comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like it's almost more like mature comedy.
So you know that Netflix just released a Rocko's Modern Life movie.
I just saw that.
Okay.
I just saw that
today.
I just saw that.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
But it's funny how subversive a lot of their humor is. That stuff that, like, I bet if I rewatched the show now, I would be blown away by how many, like, little jokes that I probably went way over my head as a kid.
Oh,
but
man.
But nowadays, when I watched it, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I mean,
Choky Chicken or whatever was the name of that. Like,
and granted, that show was built for
kids.
The special that they just released is built for people our age because we grew up watching.
That's right.
What kid is like, oh, Rocko's Modern Life new movie, great. Like they don't know.
I kind of wish that they were making a because also Invader Zim has a new movie.
I'm so pumped for that. Is that out?
That is out. I saw that one.
Don't tell me about it.
I haven't watched it.
No spoilers.
But it's not a show. It's all movies, and it's like, you know what? I'm so glad that there's a movie. But I would love it to just go back to the show.
I think the thought was if it's successful, maybe they would
so this is
bring
like
it back.
The test?
Yeah.
Of course it would be successful. Looking at... I know we're getting off topic here, but like this 90s culture of the nostalgia is so huge right now.
Well, it's every 20 years.
Every 20 years someone's man.
Well, so here's what happens, right?
Yeah.
We grew up in the early 90s.
Wish I could go back.
Right? We are now 28 years old,
mm-hmm.
right? We were born in 1991.
Mm-hmm.
We're now 28 years old. We're hardworking adults who have expendable cash.
Yeah.
Now is the perfect time for you to bring back properties that were big between 1991 and, let's say, when we were like 10, 11, 12. Bring that stuff back because, hey, we have cash. Hey, I remember this when I was a kid. I want to buy this. Done. Think about how expensive Pokemon cards have become.
Oh,
right?
Man. My mother, who's clearing out the house right now, she's like, what do you want me to do with all these Pokemon cards? I was like, I need those.
Sell them.
Freaking Charizard for $500.
Bam.
If you want it, email me at...
You have one? You have a holographic Charizard?
Yes, I have 2.
Original, good condition?
2 perfect mint.
Put that on the eBay.
Put it on the eBay.
Put it on the eBay.
Monies.
Sorry, we got a little bit off.
But you know what's funny is we do go off topic, but I feel like our off topics there's kind of a recurring theme going on, especially with our last episode and a few from our last batch, and it's kind of like this looking back at from our past and seeing how much has changed and how much is going to be changing. You know what I mean? That's
a really good thought. Is that does seem to be like an overarching theme to our show.
It does, right? And a lot of these topics, like some, even they're so random, I feel like they still kind of tie into that.
That's part of human history.
Yeah.
What are your socks today, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Are those Star Wars socks?
They're Star Wars socks.
Okay. So this is a thought that I've had for a very long time.
No, not a remake of Star Wars. Please.
I don't want it to happen.
Please, no.
I'm not... Time out. I'm not saying I want that.
Okay.
But at what point
do you remake Star Wars?
Disney say, let's remake A New Hope? They've already recast... Listen, they've already recast Han Solo. They've already done a CGI version.
Hold on a second.
Princess Leia.
They're doing a recast for the movie they just made.
No. They already recasted Harrison Ford into... I don't even remember what the name of the guy is.
I don't understand. Oh, because they did the movie.
They did a Han Solo movie. Yes.
But him.
I'm not saying he was a good choice. All I'm saying is they already have somebody in the docket.
Yeah.
Who people will recognize.
Childish Gambino as
and
Lando Calrissian.
There you go. Well, he wasn't in A New Hope though.
No, but the makings of all the characters.
So there you go. Is that you could potentially do that?
Who's then? I want to research this because someone did say that they found a perfect match for Luke Skywalker. So Mark Hamilton lookalike.
Yeah, but they probably wouldn't cast a Mark Hamilton.
Mark Hamill.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, Mark. I'm sorry.
We love your movies, Mark.
You're the best Joker.
Yes, I agree. So I was watching a video of him describing like how he does the Joker.
Yeah.
And or how when he went for his first audition to do the voice of the Joker.
Yeah.
And he was like stuck in traffic on the highway, and he's practicing his laughs on the highway.
Really?
Yes.
So what's really weird is I do that sometimes.
You practice laughing?
I practice a lot of things. On my way here today, I was just like, hello and welcome to Big Spoon, Little Spoon. I practice that. Is that weird?
I'm really happy that that's not the way you do it, though, on the show.
I'm going to do it now.
Please don't.
Email us at wehateforks@gmail.com. I could be like a freaking voice actor.
You do have a lovely voice.
I could make many voices. So many voices.
Okay. So we've gone down to the root here of two different reasons why they make remakes.
Yeah.
Either your copyright's running out on a property.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Or you're just trying to make some extra cash because people who loved it as a kid are now of a particular age that they want to love it again and introduce their kids to it.
Knowing
the
that
nostalgia factor.
And that's fine because I really do love the idea of being able to relive something with like a fresh take on it. I just think it's like you gotta be smart with it because if you come out with one and it does not stick the landing on it, that's gonna sour my experience with the whole story itself. I'm gonna be like, here's like the story I love. I'm gonna watch it and be like, oh.
You just don't watch the remake.
What was like a remake that you were disappointed in? Because like, I would think that I'm trying to think of one that I was disappointed in remake wise.
I mean, almost all the time when they make a remake, it's a pretty terrible remake. You know, nothing's going to compare to the original product that you love or you're so excited about.
The nostalgia, it's like that's the nostalgia effect. It's like you want to see something fresh and new from the same story, but then you watch it. That's why I'm kind of afraid of Invader Zim and Rocko's Modern Life, to be fair. Yeah,
I was kind of disappointed with Rocko's Modern Life. Maybe the humor, like, I just don't find it entertaining anymore from when I was a kid.
Maybe. Oh, and that's another thing, too. It's like...
I feel like Invader Zim's going to be the same way.
You love that feeling as a kid, but then, like, you're a lot older now.
I think that would be more of a reboot, though.
No, that's a reboot, for sure.
Yeah.
It's because it's a totally different story.
Where was I going with this?
Oh,
Clash of the Titans. You remember that?
That was a remake?
That was a remake.
Wow.
Yep.
And now that's getting kind of old now, too.
Yeah, that came out like early 2000s, I want to say. I want to say that was... That
would be a cool one to see another one of. Or even if it was just like a sequel or something.
Well, they made a sequel.
They did? Clash of the Titans 2?
No, it was called Wrath of the Titans, and it was terrible, I heard.
Well, then...
Again, didn't see it. So, you know, it's funny, when I see a trailer, I feel like when I see a trailer, I know if it's a movie's going to be good or bad.
Yeah, because when they show everything in the trailer and you're like, okay, well, thanks for letting me see the movie.
Terminator, oh my gosh.
Terminator are reboots.
Okay, so you could say both for Terminator, because one of the recent Terminator movies, they sent Arnold Schwarzenegger back in time to literally do the plot of the first movie again. I'm pretty sure that happened recently.
No.
And then, but there was
He's getting so old now. I thought he was a robot. He shouldn't age.
I haven't seen the recent ones, but how does that work? Because they're like, wait. We rebuilt the robot.
No.
What
it is okay. What do we do next? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But think about it. When they're designing, the rebels. I don't even know. Whoever's designing this robot is like,
followed that whole series.
Let's design him to look older than the original design. That's like if Apple decided they were going to make an iPhone that looked like it was melted. Right? Like, let's look at an imperfect product. But
it's like it's all over my hand.
Talking about trailers.
Yeah.
So one of the Terminator movies, the trailer ruined the movie. And so this is a spoiler alert. If you haven't seen all the Terminators, I couldn't even tell you which one.
Which one is this?
I couldn't. I think it was like Terminator 5. But anyway, So the Terminator's going back in time. I think he has to save the same dang kid he saves in every movie.
Gosh,
but this
dang
time,
him.
it turns out that the kid is a Terminator this time. And they revealed it in the trailer.
Come on.
That twist would have been huge. Absolutely huge in the theaters. But they were so unsure. They were so unsure of this movie succeeding that they put that in the trailer. It's like if you put Darth Vader announcing he was Luke's father in the trailer of Star Wars.
Okay, so talking about Star Wars and going back to the whole remake thing. So there's a certain way that I like to watch my Star Wars films.
Do you watch the machete way?
Yes, I watch machete order, and I think I gave you the modified version last.
I just couldn't do it.
Okay, it's cool. It's something that I would love to be able to watch and kind of like with somebody and explain why I do that. So if you have a chance to look up machete order, it kind of puts the films in a mixed order, and then you do that because it actually acts as using the older films as like flashbacks, and then it pushes off the big reveal further down the line. And the way I modified it was that I pushed off a little bit further, adding in so it would go New Hope, which would be episode 4, and then you can skip one because it does kind of give it away, but I don't like to skip it. So I do 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1. So 4. No.
Yes.
I'll write it down and I'll put it out.
So the
watch
difference. So the way machete order is that you're watching 4 and 5 first. Because he reveals that was the big bomb drop.
Yeah, but the thing is, 5 he gives it away. I modify it so that you get that giving it away.
Yeah, but that should be a shocking moment.
And the shocking moment shouldn't have happen right after you watch the first 2. So I go 1, and then I put some filler in after 1.
Yeah, but the problem is that episode 3 ruins the surprise. So if you want to be surprised, it doesn't matter because everyone fucking knows at this point.
4, and then 1, 2, 3.
Okay, you're just going to confuse people at this point.
1. No, wait, I got this. 4, 1, 2, 5, 3, 6,
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. And then wait, no.
Okay, I think we can move on from this.
Okay.
Can we just move on from this? Because you're giving me a headache just yelling. You're literally just talking numbers right now.
3,
18,
10, B.
Okay, what's a movie that you like that you think should be remade? And I'm going to tell you a movie that I'm obsessed with that I want remade.
All right. That's a tough one. There's so many movies that I'll be like, I like it.
I mean, you could say Titan AE.
Titan AE, I'd like to see a remake of that one and like maybe do live action with that one now that we have the technology for it. Mm-hmm. I like that it was part cartoon and all that, but if you use those actors, like it would still they'd still be perfect for it live action. But man, I can't really think of anything that without ruining my the way that I remember it, because we were talking about that before. I wouldn't want to ruin it.
This is going to sound like a weird one.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Mortal Kombat.
Oh, boy.
I know. The movie's pretty terrible. Oh. The second movie's even more terrible. But they're doing a remake, and I feel like it's going to be so much worse. But I really want a good Mortal Kombat movie. And it could happen.
All right.
I've thought about it. Either way.
How about this one?
Yeah.
Even though I'd hate to do this to Tom Hanks, Castaway.
That'd be a weird one.
I would watch a remake of Castaway. More
Wilson.
More Wilson.
I just want the whole movie to be Wilson.
More Wilson. We need more. No, but more on the island.
No, a prequel. No, a sequel about Wilson. The ball floats up. Wait, get this.
He comes back.
He floats up on Malibu Beach during a massive beach party, and they're playing volleyball with them, right? And the ball goes off the side, rolls into a bush, and of course, you have a bunch of bikinied out teenagers
and then
or something going for it.
Him up.
I was going to say he comes to life and kills people. It turns out to be a horror movie. But Forrest Gump crossover, not so bad either.
Not so bad.
And then it turns out they're twins. Forrest Gump and Castaway
Oh
Guy.
my gosh, they find out afterwards they get a DNA test.
Mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
You never know what ball's going to be your brother.
Wait, I didn't mean Wilson was his brother. All right, Wilson can be his brother. Okay, well, I think we need to do some research because I think we're done with talking about. We have barely talked about remakes today, sir. Let's do some research and let's talk more about remakes.
Okay, and I'll come back with the machete order because I'm pretty sure it was 5, 3, and 1.
Stick with us, friends. Big Spoon, Little Spoon. We'll be right back.
Right.
Hi friends, I'm Nick Drago, host of Sports with Nick Drago. Are you looking for a podcast that's going to give you all the sports news and information and just have a lot of fun doing it? Well, this might be the one for you. Sports with Nick Drago. We're on every Sunday, and you can find us on Facebook, SoundCloud, Twitter, and the YouTube. Just type in Sports with Nick Drago. That's me. We'll talk all about some sports. We'll have a little fun, maybe some laughs. You know how it goes. You can find us wherever you like to listen to your podcasts.
And welcome back to the show. While we were gone, we did a little research. Turns out there's a whole ton of remakes that we have not talked about.
Oh, so many. And some that are still coming out. And it's all, as you can imagine, Disney.
Okay. What were some of the interesting ones that you found?
So, Disney, has been kind of on this new path of bringing out all this new stuff. And I think it really is getting ready for a Disney Plus. Right?
Yes.
Disney Plus. So, some of the remakes that I saw that are in development are actually Lilo and Stitch.
How is that going to work with live action? I feel like that's going to be a little weird.
I think that's going to be something that's probably going to hurt.
I also really want to see it.
I would watch it, but the thing that was special about Lilo and Stitch was like the artistic style. Like they had totally different artists for that, and that's what made it like the cult. It's a cult classic. It's kind of like
it's not one of their most popular movies.
No.
Like you don't see Stitch all over the place at Disney World. But I would say for the kids who grew up at that time, Lilo and Stitch is a fantastic movie. And I think one that almost everybody has fun.
If they follow it directly to how it was, so that whatever is CGI in there, and they have really good actors that play the parts just how we saw that. That was just such a good mix of the voice acting and the artistic style. It really just seemed to flow. So if they can do that again, then good on them. But I'm a little worried about that one. Here's one that I'm actually excited about. The Sword and the Stone.
Really?
Yeah, remaking.
I'm surprised because that one didn't do so great for Disney.
Yeah, but I feel like that going back to someone like the originals would be a really cool way to try and I'm talking about refresh something. That would be
you want to talk about
desperately refreshing.
You want to talk about refreshing, remaking, rebooting. Mm-hmm. How many times has the story of King Arthur been redone over the years?
Yeah,
I mean, it's public domain, so anybody can access that material and use it. Same with Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
that's why you have the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock Holmes.
He's so good.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch is like great. You
Sherlock
Holmes.
Benedict Cumberbatch, and you have.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Thank you. I knew you were on the same brain as me. So you have remakes like that being made with material that has been remade time and time again.
But you can see how, I can't really say that I've watched any of the ones before the last two, like Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch, but those refreshed the story. So maybe they were more like a reboot because of, they had different stories. But like that was refreshing to see. I enjoyed both versions of that. And I know they happened right after.
What about the Will Ferrell version? Did you see that one?
So a lot of things I like to try and forget.
Did you actually see it?
I saw parts of it and I
heard it was so bad. I was very disappointed.
It was because it was so bad. You know how you're talking about things where you watch it and you're like, this is so bad that it's good. This is so bad that you stop halfway through and you go, wow, I almost wasted a good 2 hours.
It's hard for me to stop a movie halfway through.
Will Ferrell needs Will Ferrell needs a freaking refresher, man. He used to have so many good movies, and I feel like he started to try and...
A lot of comedians do things like that. You have a really good string of movies. Adam Sandler's the same way. Really good string of movies, and then you just hit dud after dud. Look at this little fuzz that's attached to me.
Little fuzz.
Okay, we're going to pick that off. For those of you who don't know, during our show, we had somebody trying to visit us. My dog, Catalina, was consistently trying to open the door. She's looking at me now because she heard her name. Consistently trying to open the door to come into this room. She knows how to open doors. And so now she's actually hanging out in the room with us. So if she walks over to the set, don't be alarmed about the wild animal. Just, we'll pet her and we'll send her on her way.
Yep.
We'll try not to let her distract us too much. She is so cute.
It's funny because, like, a lot of the times in our past, your dogs have always just found a way to get into our...
They always end up on our shows. So here's some
You know what we should do, by the way?
What?
A remake of Spoons.
A remake. That would be very difficult. I thought about it. We used to have a web series called Spoons. We bring it up every once in a while on the show.
You'll see me posting it on there every once in a while.
Yeah, if you go to our Facebook page, I believe the first episode was posted, but they're all on the YouTube.
Yeah.
So here's some examples of remakes that I personally forgot were remakes, and some I would consider to be better than the originals.
Okay.
War of the Worlds.
Yes.
With Tom Cruise.
Yes. That was a good one.
I very much like that movie. A lot of people think it's dumb because, the parasites on Earth are the thing that kill the aliens in the end. I thought it was a really neat idea, and it's very realistic. So War of the Worlds, definitely, that one's a remake. If we want to go with our 90s movie vibe,
I brought this one up
before we did
the episode,
The Parent Trap? No, you brought up
Freaky Friday, yes.
That was on my list, but I figured it would come up if I mentioned The Parent Trap. So Lindsay Lohan is basically the queen of doing remakes, except there's not a remake of what's the really good Lindsay Lohan movie? Oh my god, the super quotable one. Come on, Mean Girls. Mean
Girls. That's not a remake.
That's not a remake.
Okay,
no. That's a Tina Fey mind child.
Okay.
So The Parent Trap is a remake. Oh, this is one of the most egregious ones that drives me crazy.
Oh, man.
What drives me crazy is my wife enjoys this more than the original.
Oh, gosh. What is it?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, God.
The one with Johnny Depp.
No.
She likes this one better than the original.
Because Johnny Depp?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's more Tim Burton.
With you.
I think she's more into Tim Burton than Johnny Depp.
Okay, well, that's one really good reason because Tim Burton, he does.
Yeah,
he does bring a lot to the table.
That was.
But
I can't even look at it.
Big fan of the original because of
Augustus Gloop. He was the pudgy kid who got stuck in his name. Augustus Gloop.
Oh my God.
Augustus! Remember he gets all sucked in the tube and he gets stuck? Love that movie.
But the acting in that one was so fresh and
it was great.
It's just I know you can make a remake and try and remake it fresh again, but that kept. What's his name? Who plays Willy Wonka? Why am I spacing on his name? Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
That movie in particular with him, they weren't expecting him to do that, like the role in the beginning. That was all improvised, and that was like another reason why that was good. Is like a lot of those actors, they just were spontaneous too.
A lot of actors nowadays still are.
Can be a little spontaneous.
Well, it happens a lot in comedies. If you watch the bloopers of a lot of comedies, you'll see lines that they just try to think up on the fly. Most of them flop, but every once in a while they have something good. So this remake, I like it, but I cannot watch it.
What is
so it's King Kong, right? So think about how many times they've made King Kong over the years. It's exhausting. The 2003 one, though, directed by Peter Jackson, had Jack Black in it. I think they did a really nice job of remaking King Kong. But the movie is 3 damn hours long, and I cannot watch it. It's just too long.
The original King Kong, I think there's still a VHS of that on Long Island at
in
my
your
grandma's
house.
place. Yeah, and that'd be something.
The other really big
get
one,
a hold of,
which I enjoy, is Ocean's 11. was a
yes.
remake.
But wait. So Ocean's 11 before.
Not. I know they did Ocean's 8 with
yeah.
With the ladies.
Yeah.
Which I watched that recently with Hannah.
How was that?
It was good. It was good. You know, every movie is going to be, it's kind of the same, like, you know, here's the heist, we do the heist, we move on, done. Yeah. You know, they succeed at the heist, done. Yeah. So it was good. You know, I think it was funny, the plot moved along so seamlessly that it ended, and it was like, oh my god, that it ended? Like, I feel over? I was engrossed in it, like, it was so smooth. And usually with movies, I'm like, either I'm begging, please don't let this be over soon, because I feel like it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Or I'm thinking, please let this be over soon, because this is horrible.
Yeah.
And with this movie, it was just like, it just went from beginning to end, and I felt like it flowed very freely. So I liked it.
Okay.
But Ocean's 11, you know, is a reboot of Ocean's 11 from 1960, which also featured an all-star cast, much like the Ocean's 11 that we know of from the early 2000s. But, or was it the 90s? Do I have to go back into my phone?
I think it might be the 90s. I think you swiped it out of that.
I did swipe it out of here. Now I gotta type in Oceans.
So while you're bringing that up, I'm gonna bring up some other things.
2001. Go ahead. What else do you have?
Because you know how I'm a big Timothy Olyphant fan.
Yes.
And he was in movie The Crazies, and The Crazies was actually Did you see The Crazies?
I've never heard of this.
That's a good one. I definitely recommend watching The Crazies. It's another topic that kind of falls in line with like the zombie topics, which we released an episode on that one a while back, and with the zombies being that there's something like some sort of chemical that got into the water, and then it started spreading. So, and it wasn't like they were zombies, they were just nuts, and they would just kill just because. So they would team up with other people to go and kill people. Anyway, so Timothy Olyphant's Crazy was a remake of something else, and that leads me into a lot of horror films. All remakes.
The Ring, Poltergeist. They remade Poltergeist.
The Shining, The Thing, The Blob.
Wait, time out. The Shining?
The Shining has a remake.
Ew. That sounds terrible. Actually, I did think about this too. Like, all the Freddy movies, the Jason movies, Mike Myers.
Well, those would be reboots, right? If they're different stories.
This is where it's gray. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of the same. I don't really know. Well, I think they're remaking. I think they're gonna remake the Saw movies too.
Because what's funny is I kind of want to watch it. At the same time, it's just so gory that you're like, at what point are you just watching this just to, like, some people love the gore, but like at what point is it's just gore and no longer this mystery that's trying to be solved. So, I like horrors that have the mystery in them.
I liked the first two, and then after that, like, I feel like I was just watching it for the gore.
Exactly.
Like, the story, it was very interesting, the first two. So
first two was so smart, and you never knew what was going to happen next.
Have you seen all of them?
I watched them with Sean.
Okay.
Believe it
so
or not.
Spoiler alert for the last one. This is going to ruin... And this might ruin...
Okay with this.
This might ruin all of the Saw movies for you. So, one of the crazy things about Saw, right? The two guys in the bathroom...
Yep.
And the one guy at the end, right? He locks him in the room, and that's it, game over.
Yeah.
Do you know that he escapes and lives?
The guy with the broken leg. But the other guy dies.
He breaks his leg to, like, slip out. And you don't realize this until the last movie. And it turns out, hey, I've been alive all along. And then it turns out that he's part of the whole... because now he tries to carry on the legacy. It's exactly... It was terrible.
This is where you're talking about with the remake, right?
I think just start from scratch or something. It's such a good concept.
The second one was great because you start to see like the idea of like the cops are trying to solve this mystery.
Yeah.
And the cops getting kind of involved in the whole thing.
Yeah, and like that's where I think the second and third and even the fourth, if I remember, by the end of the third, it was like you had like some intertwining stories. Like that was right. the third one ended with the guy killing Jigsaw.
Mm-hmm.
But then the fourth one ended with somebody... You follow this guy through the whole movie, and then at the very end, the twist was he walks into the room immediately after Jigsaw's killed, and then arrests the guy for killing Jigsaw.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be this smart, like, you never know what the timeline is for it. But again, it just got too much gore.
So yeah, a lot of remakes in the horror movie world.
How about this one?
Okay.
We didn't talk about this. I feel like this was supposed to be part of our topic as well, but songs.
Yeah, I don't know as many, like, remade songs.
I had to look this one up.
Did you find any good ones?
I found a couple good ones. So the one that I just thought was kind of crazy is, you know, some of these singers, they are really famous, and you would think that, wow, how did they come up with these amazing songs? And it turns out it wasn't really them. So, who's a really famous, like, from the past, who's a really famous singer that you could think of?
Well, I know what answer you want me to say right now.
I do, because you saw it.
Elvis?
Yeah. Elvis. Okay, Elvis, yeah. So, Elvis's song, Hound Dog, is not his.
Really?
It's not his. It's actually made by someone called Big Mama Thornton.
Really?
Calling out motherfuckers back in 1952.
Wow.
And so I actually found that song, and I won't play it now. Maybe we'll play it later. Oh, we have to get that.
It's fine. You could just Google it.
You just Google
song.
It. But yeah, it's
Hound Dog by Big Mama Junebug. What's her name? What is it?
Big Mama Thornton.
Big Mama Thornton. So check that out, folks.
But there's a few others too here. Let's see, Twist and Shout by the Beatles.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, and Aerosmith remade Dream On. Not Dream On. Oh my God, no. Aerosmith remade the one by the Beatles too.
So is it more famous by them?
I like their version.
Huh.
This is gonna drive me nuts.
Find it out.
Keep talking.
We Hate Forks. Dazed and Confused by Led Zeppelin was not actually by them. But Dazed and Confused, a dream come true for guitar and solo enthusiasts, but Page was first inspired by the song's folk rock origin, courtesy of Jake Holmes. So whoever Jake Holmes is, I like to listen to the original there, too.
Come Together. Come
Together!
Yeah, they remade that from a Beatles song.
What? So, look at... There's all these covers... And it's funny how they're somehow more famous
sometimes. So in the music world, so here we go. In the movie world, it almost seems as though remakes do not get more popular than the original. In some cases they do, but a lot of times it looks like they don't. But in the song world, I think it works the opposite way.
It's like the remakes are more popular. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
All right.
Furbies.
When are they going to remake Furbies?
Well, there's literally a Furby in my house right now.
Wait, they remade
someone
Furbies?
gave JJ a Furby.
Like an old one?
It's a new Furby.
Oh, get rid of that thing. They're so creepy.
I like them.
Furby! Okay. Well, I think that was a good conversation. Right?
I think
we got way off topic in the beginning.
I know, but we came back around with some really good examples.
Yeah, it helps to do the research.
That's why we do the research, people.
All right, well, special thanks, as usual, to Johanna Drago for 2 reasons today. 1, for giving us a topic. Remember, you could submit your topics to wehateforks@gmail.com.
We want to have all your submissions be part of our shows, so the more we get, the more topics we have to talk about.
Yes. And also special thanks for designing the logo and our set for this podcast. The music you hear for the show is As I Am by Josh Woodward. A link to his website can be found in the show notes. You can find us on Facebook,
Twitter, Podbean, and YouTube, as you are watching us on now.
Also, your favorite podcasting apps are also on there as well. Just look in our notes section; it's all there.
Yep.
There was something else that I feel like we should be mentioning at the bottom of the show. Oh, yeah. So when we premiere these things, every Thursday, usually around 5, 6 o'clock, depending on when I get home from work, because I do have a day job, I post them with a live premiere. And when we do that, it's really cool, actually.
Yeah,
you can
he surprised me with this one.
You can
on the
watch
second
us
episode.
on YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube while I chat with you at the sidebar. So if you want to talk with me during the show, come find us during our live premiere, 7 o'clock every Thursday. Again, 7 every Thursday. Go to our Facebook page, find that live premiere. You just go right to our YouTube page. We're on there. It's through YouTube. So very cool stuff.
Really smart idea, dude.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's very cool. It's fun to interact with fans.
Yep.
All right.
I want to like get a signature that we could say like at the end of our shows.
How about Wimmy Wham Wham Wazzle?
Wimmy Wham Wham Wazzle.
Yeah. And also next summer in theaters, Wilson versus Forrest Gump.
Yes.
The sequel to the prequel. Produced by us.
It's also a video game.
Yeah, I also produce the voice for Wilson.
Yeah.
Jamie does the voice for Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Because it's...
Box of chocolates.
Yeah, see? Perfect. All right, friends, thanks again for joining us. Have a beautiful after day.
Love y'all.